Find out what's being served with Mike, Defo, and Lubie, the only show that covers food, sports, and the proper maintenance of your car. And now, a man who had the distinction of having an entire health clinic named in his honor, Mike Mayo.
I want the flim flam sauce with the awesome bacon with your...
Good afternoon, strawberry and cream fans, doner kebab fans, and fish and chip fans, and welcome to a Wimbledon edition of Mike Mayo's Lunchbox. I have recited some of the food treats that you could find at the grounds of the All England Lawn and Tennis Club and the surrounding areas. It's one of the major events that I've never been to or covered in my life, and it's on my bucket list, I guess. Jeff Defo DeForest, Mike Lubie Lubitz, welcome to today's Lunchbox. It's a Wednesday. It's June 29th, and Wimbledon is underway, but no longer for Serena Williams, who looks like she's been spending some time with me, guys.
A lot of Subway sandwiches, man. It's a fallacy that you can lose weight eating Subway sandwiches, if that indeed is what was the case there with Serena. She did look rather large, although she looked in better shape in this matchup yesterday than she did a week before in the Eastbourne tournament. But wow, we called it on the head. I don't know what the odds were, Mike Mayo. I don't know if you looked this up, but you could have got a pretty good price on
I heard it was was it plus 230 on 10, and you were given minus 270 on Serena to win her first round match. And as soon as she kind of faltered in that first set, I was like, uh-oh, I don't think she has the conditioning. And, you know, I'm not body shaming anybody, and she could obviously still kick my butt in any endeavor, not just tennis, but probably arm wrestling or tackle football. She's much more athletic than I ever was. So I am not one to body shame anybody, but I don't know. At what point should a top flight athlete maybe consider hanging it up? Does it tarnish any kind of legacy in the way that maybe throwing a plate with ketchup across the wall of the White House might tarnish a legacy?
You don't want to get into that necessarily. Now with the right-wing faction that I don't know if they're oldies fans, but they certainly were of the previous talk format. They're here on the station.
Well, that's all right. We don't have to get into yesterday's testimony. We had Wimbledon going on. And so back to my original question, guys.
Yeah.
And welcome to the Lunchbox on WWNN Radio, all the different stations, and now streaming live on the South Florida Live broadcast network, which is on YouTube and Facebook. And soon I'll be posting it on all kinds of different groups. But here we are, and getting into summer. Have you ever been to Wimbledon or covered Wimbledon, Jeff Defo DeForest?
No, I mean, as previously discussed, my first time ever in Europe was that trip to Italy a couple of weeks ago. So I never had a chance to do it. I know our dear friend and mutual friend and big fan of the Mike Mayo Lunchbox, Leslie Visser, had been there many, many times. I'm not sure that it's on my bucket list. I guess if I could somehow arrange a way to get there, I'd love to be there. I've never been to the U.S. Open either, as a big tennis fan.
Wow.
So
How is this possible, Defo? Defo, we got to go. Let's go to New York. Let's go to Flushing Meadows and take in a Mets game and maybe a couple of matches at the Arthur Ashe Stadium or whatever now they're calling the big covered stadium. But it's a fantastic. Both of them, I imagine, are fantastic events. I've been to the U.S. Open Tennis Center and tennis tournament. I have never been to Wimbledon, which is kind of shocking, but because I traveled overseas a lot in my sports writing days at the Sun Sentinel, when the Sun Sentinel still had a travel budget.
You had a lot of sweet gigs, basically.
Oh, I
as
did.
a newspaper guy, you really did. I mean, to finish off as the food critic was really something.
Well, it was like going up to the buffet line in the Titanic on a sinking ship. But
he got there right under the wire.
You had 5 years on their expense account before the hedge fund guy caught up with you. That's for sure.
But so no, the thing was, I went. I covered a lot of golf and Olympics, and I went to the British Open a number of times. In St. Andrews was great, Carnoustie, all these places around Scotland. But our guy Bricker, Charles Bricker, had the dibs.
Mr. Personality, he was known as in the business.
Yeah,
He was
could be-
always bitter. He made Lubie look like he's jovial. He really did.
talk about irascible. Now there
Yeah.
was a guy who we
Oh,
can't use the
God.
A word on the networks,
Yeah,
but
yeah. Good man.
watch that. I
Good
keep
man.
forgetting with the video.
We're
I
not
think
He
there.
came
Yeah.
off that way though as the A word. He
Yes,
really
yes,
did.
yes,
And
yes,
everybody
yes,
knows
yes,
what you're
he
talking
was
about.
a very particular. I got along well with him because he was on my team. He had a very weird sense of competitiveness against other writers from other publications, and he really took it personally. I'm a guy like, okay, I'd go at it, during the daytime and try to outscoop the guys on the Herald beat. Really nice guy Scott Fowler was doing it for the Herald when I was on it for the Sentinel on the Dolphins beat. But we were cordial, we were friendly. We'd go out on the road and have a beer. Bricker, if you were for the the competition, he wouldn't talk to you. He wouldn't give you the time of day, and it was just he was a very odd duck. And but he was into tennis, and after our man Jim Sarney moved off the tennis beat and Bricker came along, Bricker had dibs on that whole. He did 6 weeks in Europe where he would go to the French Open and then take a little R&R with his wife and then go to the straight to Wimbledon. So talk about sweet gigs. That was a pretty good gig.
Pretty cushy, no doubt. I mean, they could have made him cover some of those interim tournaments between the French Open and Wimbledon. But, I mean, if you can grab 4 weeks of vacation or whatever it is, 3-4 weeks, so much the better. Now, the Serena story, I don't begrudge Serena coming back there and playing at Wimbledon. You would have thought, I don't know, did she underestimate how poorly conditioned she was for this? You can't imagine. I mean, you know your own body. I mean, you know what you have to do to get ready for birthday number 57, Mike Mayo. I mean, you might have to, get back on the bike and hit the gym. I have to, try and find a way to stay alive to make it to 71, which is now less than
Like
a week
days
away. Yeah, so I'm all in. Walk of life. I don't care what kind of stress it is. I'm out there, man, thinking I'm doing myself some good.
You
But
are
you know
doing
your own body, right? In terms of conditioning, and you would have thought that Serena, she was so badly out of gas, and that was just from losing the first set. And this was an interesting thing. I mentioned this to Lubie this morning because you're down 5-0 in the second set. This Harmony Tam. And your instinct would naturally be to go, okay, I'm not going to win this set. So let's just lose this next game and then go on to the next set. But I actually thought it was significant. She forced Serena to play more.
Yep.
She only won 1 game in the second set. But the fact that she made her fight for it a little bit, I think had an impact later on because it was clear that Serena ran completely out of gas by the time they got to the end of the third set.
Yeah, and I think also maybe on one of those breaks when they had in between the sets that Serena actually was seen running out to the fish and chip stand. And,
she's the first person ever to pull a Subway sandwich out
Exactly.
of her little bag there instead of like some colored bottle of water that she
all
puts.
right, we're
Yeah.
just being mean now. And look,
She actually hit one ball with a Subway sandwich.
Here's the thing.
With a Subway, a giant one, a foot long.
Maybe do you think Serena's grand plan is, come back, make everybody think that she's totally washed up, and then like go on this crazy fitness regimen between now and
Not happening.
U.S. Open, and then come and shock the world and win the U.S. Open, or not happening? You say?
Why would she have to do
She's
that?
not good
though? I
enough
don't-
at this stage to beat these top women's players. Not mow down. I mean, you have to mow down 7 people in the tournament. So maybe you're playing three matches at the highest levels. She doesn't have that ability anymore.
Never underestimate the power of greatness. And if she put her mind to it and she got on some sort of fitness regimen, like in 2 months, and lost 20 pounds and toned up, I mean, everybody wrote off Tiger Woods before that 2019 Masters, right? And he won that Masters. So the greats, when they get back into their element, and if they put their minds to it, I'm not going to say never. I don't know.
There's your next wager. We go 2-0 on the top of the Lakers dinner
Forever.
Day, on the Lightning bet.
Well, okay,
I'll
say
that she does not win another slam ever. That she finishes at 23, one behind a little bit of a fugazi record by Margaret Court.
Oh yeah. How about maybe we'll do a prop bet about whether she could advance like to the quarterfinals? Of
Yeah,
the
exactly.
US Open.
Yeah, you're already
she
backing
could have won the
off.
match yesterday. I think she would have lost to either of the people that she would have played, which I guess the Spanish girl ended up winning the match yesterday against the American McHale. But I don't think she would have gotten past the next opponent. No chance.
I don't know. She might have even lost to like you wearing those shoes that Sarni gave us. Who knows?
No, those shoes that Sarni gave us, the two of them combined, if I could have melded them together, they might have fit over 1 foot.
Well, Jim, I don't know. He was like, well, I guess he got a little sensitive when I said I might sell them on eBay. He says, you can return the shoes to me. I was like, okay, we'll do that, Jim.
Got a lot of guy that knows the value of those.
Exactly.
Hey, so I wanted to correct the record on something because I was listening to your morning show. I never said I hated Lucky Dogs. You totally twist my words sometimes. Okay,
that's how we get you for Clem.
Make a face every time,
makes the show more fun. Yeah.
What I said was, if I was in New Orleans, I would not expend my actually, in my case, unlimited number of calories that I consume on a Lucky Dog. I would go and venture other places. Now, you love to slam Cafe Du Monde. I don't know what a beignet ever did to you, but if you have a good one from the original stand when it's not overwhelmingly crowded and you get one of those fresh,
it almost always is though,
sugars.
Overwhelmingly crowded, except like really late at night, like
1 in the morning. That's the time, my friend. You got to zig when the others are zagging.
It's okay. Anyway, it's just, I mean, if you're going to trash Acme Oyster Bar, which is great, I mean, there's nothing you can say about it except they do an
twisting my
job.
words. I never trashed it. I just said I'd rather go to Pascal's Manali for my oyster consumption. You can. Actually, in my case, I'd hit all three, Felix's, Acme, and
I like Felix's, but I have to say, Mike Mayo, and as many times as I've been to New Orleans, and naturally you want to dodge a line, maybe try some other places. Every time I go to Acme, I'm always completely satisfied. Always.
Well, good. I'm glad, and I know that people who get to your age, you don't like to change your routines. You can't.
It's not even a routine. I just said I tried a dozen other places, and they all serve oysters. And I think Acme has the best offering for me, for my personal taste.
But you didn't try the Gambling Gourmet's pick, which is Pascal's Manali, which is one of those special places.
Might have been better. It's possible, but I never got there because I only ate like 3 meals while I was there in terms of like large meals.
It's okay, and we could agree to disagree. I guess I don't. What I didn't realize is that you're so literary minded, and that you I guess discovered that the Confederacy of Dunces, which the author was John Foster Dulles or something, or what? No, he was
I can't take credit for the discovery about this book, but I want to read it, and I can't believe I figured you might know of it because of your educational background, being very high level, whereas I was just worried about whether or not.
The author was go ahead. John Kennedy Toole was the author of.
Okay, he won a Pulitzer for the novel.
Yeah, and I never read it, and I didn't realize it had a food theme, or it was basically following the lives of lucky
dog vendors,
which is it sounds like a little bit depressing even for me, and I like the.
But I mean, it was a way. Obviously, he worked them as characters because the history of the company, which was named something else, and then emerged as the current status as Lucky Dogs. But the type of people that sell Lucky Dogs came from all walks of life out of New Orleans, mostly on the dark side. So, and that was I guess the fascination of the book. But Leslie Visser turned me on to the book. I would have known nothing about it.
And Jesus, I thought by the title "Confederacy of Dunces" it was maybe a book about the Trump cabinet or something like that. But,
well, Confederacy would certainly be appropriate there.
They certainly seem to like those flags.
Maybe the Supreme Court too. I mean,
I went looking at my bookshelf just now because I thought maybe I had read it, but actually wasn't. It was another book that was a Pulitzer Prize winner that I have on my shelf. But then I did find some books that it's summertime reading season, food books. I found an Anthony Bourdain book. It was just Bourdain Day. This one's called Nasty Bits. Of course, his most famous book is Kitchential, which he wrote way back when he was still a chef. And it started off as a New Yorker kind of expose, turned into a whole best-selling book, and that changed the whole arc of his life and career. This was a book that he released later. It was kind of short essays, but Nasty Bits is good. I also found on my bookshelf Fast Food Nation, which is a book. It was written about 10 or 15 about just how unhealthy all the fast food and the processed food that most of America consumes way too much of is. That's another one. Here's another one I found there, Defo. 2002 Zaggett's Guide for Miami and South Florida. 20 years
2002, 20 years ago.
20 years ago. And the crazy part is that
You say I'm operating out of the
you
past.
look at like some of the top places and like they're
Gone?
all gone.
Wow.
Oh, really?
Is gone.
Well, what they
Except
have is the top places.
Oh, like top places. Well, the one place that's still around is Joe's Stone Crab, of course. But
Okay.
La Palme d'Or, which was at the Biltmore, is gone. Pacific Time, you remember Pacific Time down
I don't
on
remember
Lincoln
that
Road?
place. No.
That was on Lincoln Road. A really good chef named Jonathan Eisman, and that's gone. Mark's South Beach, Mark Militello, who's now up and about, lives up in the Palm Beach area. Blue Door, which was at the Delano Hotel where Madonna hung out. What else? There was Azul, where
They're all
Michelle
closed.
Bernstein starts. So a lot of places are gone, but props to
that
Joe's Stone
sucks.
Crab for still getting it done. Oh, look at this. We've got Everything About the Burger by our friend Seth Gonzalez, the Burger Beast. We got
All right.
that on the bookshelf. And this one's for you, a 2000s agates guide for New Orleans restaurants.
Oh,
And,
very nice.
Little late.
And when I look in
Did
here,
they have your place in there,
Yeah.
Pascal's or whatever that was?
Pascal's
when I look in here, what I don't find is Lucky Dog. So
Well, it's not a
You and
restaurant.
Lucky Dog.
I'm telling you, Mike Mayo, the line at the airport at the new, I mean, they refurbished the Lucky Dog stand there at the airport. It was always a classic destination and something that you, see, I would be worried that I would end up in the bathroom on the plane, and that's the last place I want to end up excreting a Lucky Dog, if we could put it politely.
So now here's the thing about New Orleans. Like a lot of the places that were listed as their top food rankings in the year 2000 are still around. There's Mr. B's Bistro, Commander's Palace, Brightson's, our friend Frank Brightson, friend of Joe Casale. He's still going strong. Clancy's is still going strong.
All the places.
Galatoire's, Gatro's.
It's still there. It's still there.
Arnaud's and all these places. That's the beauty of New Orleans, that they have staying power. So
classic
Bayona,
joints, no
Bayona
doubt
is
about it.
there. So that was a trip through my bookshelf, and summer reading season, and
read this Confederacy of Dunces. I think you would like it because it's about characters and misfits and people like us.
Yeah, no, I might have to go check that out. And of course, here's the Brisket Chronicles. That's something for me, especially if it's very fatty. Yeah, when I was a food
where'd you get that one in Hebrew school? Where'd you get the Brisket Chronicles from?
No, this is actually by the very noted barbecue expert who lives here in Coral Gables, Miami, Steve Rakelin, and he's like the barbecue guru of all time. He has shows on PBS, and anyway, he's written.
You must have been sent though a zillion books, just like when you were a sports writer, you probably got like a ton of sports books.
Oh, I got a ton of sports books
at the radio station. But I mean, how many food books were sent to you when you were the food?
Are you buying food?
A lot, and
quite an extensive library you have working there.
I held up. Here's another one, Norman Van Aken's Florida Kitchen. Norman Van Aken, one of the top chefs. He's been around a long time. He's a good guy. He's a student of cooking, and he's a very erudite guy. He loves to write. He loves to read. And if you ever get a chance to eat at one of his restaurants, I think he still has a restaurant down in Wynwood now called 3. So that's would highly recommend going to check out Norm Van Aken. He used to have Norman's down in Coral Gables. So, all right, excellent. That was Michael Mayo's book report for today.
Book tour for the day. Excellent. You're like Oprah Winfrey on the show here. Yeah. I mean, we're not selling as many books, but, whatever you mention, a lot of people gravitate towards.
We'll see if it gets the Lunchbox bounce. Hey, you know what it's time for? Defo is talking about our friends with Lauderdeals and Visit Lauderdale. And
where are you? Do you know where you and Nikki are going tomorrow?
What are we doing tomorrow?
I am hoping that we're going to be at Tropics Lounge on Pines Boulevard, a Guyanese/Caribbean joint to wrap up Caribbean Heritage Month. It's so strange. Well, I hope we're going to be out there. I went out there yesterday. I saw Karan, who is one of the brothers that owns it and is the chef, and he was there, and he said he'll be available. But Sham, who is kind of like the main general manager, is supposed to call me, and I just haven't touched base. But we're up in the air. We'll see what happens, but hopefully we'll be out there with Nikki Mohan doing the Everyone Under the Sun, Every Dish Under the Sun segment tomorrow. But in the meantime, you could go online right now to visit Lauderdale.com/deals and check out all the great deals that are ongoing all summer long as part of Lauderdeals, where you can enjoy the good life for less in Greater Fort Lauderdale. And you find all these great deals on dining, hotels, attractions, spas, and more all summer long. So start planning your summer getaway or your staycation online. Again, that's visit Lauderdale.com/deals, and you'll see all the ways you can save, from finding great hotel deals and luxury beach resorts to family-friendly suites treats. You can indulge in food and drink specials all over at local restaurants, bars, and breweries. Shop Lauderdale's for exciting attractions like Flamingo Gardens and Butterfly World. All great things to do with the kids. If they're out for the summer and they're not in a camp, you can get that. They have a summer pass, I think, for some of those great attractions. And if you're a Florida resident, a first responder, or in the military, you'll find even more deals just for you. From miles of golden beaches to pampering at celebrated hotels and resorts, the good life awaits in Greater Fort Lauderdale. So shop Lauderdale's now at visitlauderdale.com/deals and start planning your best summer ever.
Great program, and always look forward. I'm hoping you guys land at that spot there. Nikki Mohan, of course, on the show every Thursday, and always a good time when Nikki's on board. Mike Mayo continues with the Lunchbox, a literary tour with Mike Mayo earlier this morning, and we'll see if we dive into some food here in the next couple of segments as we continue on WWNN.
I'll
and
be
South Florida
diving
Live.
in. I am diving in.
You're going with fruit? Unbelievable. You're supposed to be in a hot dog eating contest on the 4th.
We're going to
They have
talk
you
about this
entered.
next.
Back in a moment.
Hey, it's Mike Mayo here for my friends at Tropical Acres Steakhouse and Butcher Shop, 2500 Griffin Road, just west of 95 in Dania and Fort Lauderdale. They've been there a long time, over 70 years, the Studiali family. They know how to take care of you. They have steaks, seafood, and so much more. It's old school hospitality and a relaxed, nice setting. They have the bar. They have Monday, Tuesday half-price wine night. They have all kinds of great specials. And they also have a butcher shop now that you could buy your meats anytime, 10 a.m. to 10 p.m., Monday through Saturday. Throw it on the grill at home. They're great cuts of meat like the filet mignon, 10-ounce barrel cut, all kinds of goodies there. And, of course, the dining room, it can't be beat. They have the early bird special every day at 4:30 to 5:30. They're open daily except Sunday until 10 p.m., Monday through Saturday. Go to Tropical Acres Steakhouse and tell them Mayo and Defo sent you. Do you like pizza? I mean, who doesn't like pizza? Well, my spot for pizza is the Pizza Spot. It's at 601 Southwest 12th Avenue in Fort Lauderdale. A little bit hard to find in that Riverside Park neighborhood, but totally easy to love. They've got Connecticut New Haven style of pizza in a wood-fired brick oven. It's run by a team of Wade and Reese. They opened about a year ago. It's a great place. Great pizzas, subs like chicken parms, meatball appetizers, salads. Very relaxed setting, casual, outdoors, all outdoors, picnic tables. You won't even feel like you're in Fort Lauderdale. Go there. They have pickup, takeout. Call 754-779-7788. That's 754-779-7788. Pizza Spot. They're open Tuesday through Sunday for lunch and dinner, closed on Mondays. Tell them that Mike Mayo and Defo sent you.
And we're back on the Lunchbox. I hear the music about the walk of life. Did you get it in this morning, Defo? You got the
Not yet. Heading out right after the show, and then a little late night tennis match against young Jesse DeForest, who flies around the court like no tomorrow. And he can eat. He still has a metabolism at 39. He definitely, took full advantage of the eating opportunities that were
What do you
taking
think?
place in New Orleans.
What do you think? Could Jesse take Serena at this point? Or-
No, neither of us could get a point off Serena. That's the
Okay.
honest truth.
All right.
But we're not professionals either with 23 slams. I think in tennis it's a little strange. I mean, I used to really not like it when boxers, especially guys that I rooted for or knew personally, would decide to come back after like a couple of year layoff, and they get their brains beaten in by some schmank who they would have mopped up in one round when they were in their prime. But
No.
I think in this kind of situation, Serena left Wimbledon last year with an injury, and she's been out for a year. Does she deserve some kind of tribute send off? Like they have where a guy has a retirement tour in certain sports. Yeah, I mean, if she wants to do it this way, that's fine. Maybe she could win a match at the U.S. Open. I think she's probably going to enter the U.S. Open and play at least one match there. But as far as winning,
Look, she deserves it.
No
and
chance, yeah.
She deserves to go out in any way that she
Yeah.
chooses. She's earned that, right? And like you
Sure.
said, it's not like a boxer where they're actually putting themselves and their future health at
Exactly.
risk because you could actually take a pummeling and either get killed or shave years off your life because of concussions and brain damage. But in this case, tennis is not nearly as dangerous or risky a venture. It just you could leads to a little bit of embarrassment if you are get drubbed by somebody who's ranked 140 something.
Well, I mean, and the girls' style of play. I mean, if you watch a lot of tennis, which I do, and naturally it's on right now, and I guess on the ropes right now is the British star Raducanu, who won the U.S. Open last year at like 16 or 17, and she's about to get knocked out in the second round of the tournament. And if you watch this stuff, you could have made another score today because this girl Caroline Garcia, has been playing very well. And been a prominent factor in a lot of the tournaments during the build-up to Wimbledon and the French Open, and very consistent. And Raducanu has not been displaying that kind of play since she won the U.S. Open. So you might have been able to make a score today because I'm sure that Raducanu is heavily favored. But
I'm done with my sports betting for the year. So that's horses. Horses,
could have made a score on this thing, but
I'm going to be betting Saratoga and Del Mar. That's next on the radar. Hey, speaking of Confederacy of Dunces, you were touting it. I just got a text from our friend Tom T, the great chef who runs the Tom's Louisiana Kitchen food truck.
He's an Acme fan, though. He disagrees with your whole.
He just said Confederacy of Dunces is a great book. So I guess we should all go out and try to pick it up.
I'm going to read it. That's going to be my next book I read, which may be my last.
I'm actually meeting Tom for lunch today after the Lunchbox. I'm going to check out a sub shop that he's been raving about up in Deerfield Beach called Seaside Eats, or Seaside Subs or something like that. He's been saying they make the best chicken cutlet parm, and I'm a sucker for a good chicken parm, so I'm going to go check that out. But
will that help you in your training, though? I mean, we had you at 10 and a hook on the hot dogs. And if you could attempt this, I guess it would have to be like tomorrow or Friday.
Friday, no, it's got to be Friday because 4th of July is Monday, and they do the contest I think Monday.
Contest is coming up on Monday.
Obviously, the big Nathan's famous for July 4th hot dog eating contest where Joey Chestnut shovels down. What's the record? 73.
The over under is 74 and a hook this year. Over under, and that's wager on this.
Insanity. Okay. Now, could I put down a hot dog a minute for 10 minutes? The answer is
could you
no.
do 10? You couldn't do 10.
Could you eat 10 hot dogs? Yeah, and have them, all at once in your stomach because they have to go somewhere.
Could I eat them in one sitting? Possibly, but if
10 minutes eat 10 dogs, can you do it?
10 minutes I could not do it. I would not want to do it because that could prove fatal to me. I mean, I'm a man.
You shovel them in there, but you need the technique where you dip it in the water so the bun gets soggy and is easy to navigate.
I would not do any of that, bun in the fruit punch or in the water technique. If I'm eating hot dogs, I want to eat a proper hot dog. I love a Nathan's hot dog, the one with the natural casing on it. You get the snap if you do it on a real grill.
Could you eat 4 Nathan's hot dogs?
What could you do in 10 minutes? What could you do in 10 minutes?
If I really put my mind to it, I probably could put down 6 or 7, but I wouldn't want to do any more because that, again, it could prove fatal. At
7 hot dogs? You think you could eat in 10 minutes? Wow.
Okay, now is this with a bun, like eating it?
Or with a bun. Crazy? With a bun. No, I wouldn't do the professional technique. I would want to eat it with a bun. Probably no mustard. Probably just like straight up naked dogs and just like shovel.
If you're gonna eat 7 dogs, though, you want mustard, onions, relish, sauerkraut.
A little heartburn there. Maybe the last one I would have it fully dressed with the mustard and the sauerkraut. Hey, but meanwhile, it's time for Mike Mayo Eats on the Lunchbox.
Oh, not again!
I know how much you love this, and I
think the people are largely turned off whenever you do this. But let's go ahead.
The ones on the radio can't.
The radio, they have no idea what you're doing, and visual is particularly disgusting. I mean,
I'm videoing this every day.
Now, I saw you eating a little something before the show today, but you're an old pro, and you shoveled whatever it was down before the show, so we didn't get to see you eating. What was it?
It was like remnants of some real old potato chips that we took. Went on a boat trip a couple of weeks ago, and the Mustang bought some snack food around with us, and she had these gluten-free. I mean, this was missing everything except what they didn't say is there was enough salt that were on these chips to kill an elephant. There really was, but they were very tasty. Some kind of salt and vinegar potato chip that was gluten-free and supposedly all natural.
And they didn't go stale. They were good and still.
They're very good. I mean, gluten-free doesn't go stale because it already is stale when you have gluten-free.
Yeah, I don't know.
That's the thing about gluten-free. You don't have to worry about freshness.
Gluten-free potatoes are naturally gluten-free. It's not wheat. Gluten is just wheat. So I love how they label these things gluten-free, where on its very essence, it has to be gluten-free.
It's the main attraction in grabbing a bag of this stuff. Really, no, they were very good. I forget what brand they were, but I would have to say they're very good. But stiff in general. I mean, much you would like them much crunchier than the average normal fresh potato chip.
Well, that's good. Well, I'm going in the healthier direction for now before I dive into my chicken parm sub. But I've got here. Well, this is my.
Why would you? But you're eating as a prelude to going to get a chicken parm hoagie.
I think you could do 10 hot dogs. You already have the idea of training your stomach to be ready to eat bigger food. I think you could do more. Like you have the whole strategy down and everything.
You're going right after the show to meet Tom, a great guy, and he's going to have you stuff your face with something that you have to figure is not only scrumptious but large. It would be part of its appeal, and you're eating as a prelude to that.
Here's my strategy, guys. This is going to fill my stomach a little bit, so I won't eat the whole sub. I'll just eat half of it, and then I'm going to bring the other half to Dickstein because we're going around doing some work later for the Best of Del Rey.
Very
so
nice.
I'm going to be a good, partner and just kind of show up with half a supposedly great sub, and Dickstein
as opposed to
shovel down the
the
rest.
non-Cuban sandwich at the track.
Yeah, that was the great invisible. It was kind of like
invisible Cuban. Yes,
it was kind of like the Bloody Mary, the weekday Bloody Mary at Houston's. No, I haven't forgotten that yet.
Yeah.
It's a non-existent, invisible. Just
you
like
have to stop
Cuban
holding
sandwich.
grudges, Mike Mayo.
No,
I mean, the key to happiness is to forget. Learn to forget. The Doors said that years ago.
I've stopped holding grudges, and I've started holding some fruit. Now,
okay,
my question
where'd you
is
get that
this.
from now?
So I'm going to eat in reverse order of when I bought the fruit. I don't know if you have any kind of theories of like how long is too long to hold fruit around, and does it go bad, or do you ever toss
definitely goes bad.
Of course, goes bad.
Sure. Okay, so but how do you know? Like if you've cut up something and you have it in the fridge. Well, okay. Well, here we are. We're starting with
kind of feel it a little bit. Also,
this
you can feel it.
Yeah. Well, this is Mike Mayo's wide world of fruit that we're embarking on the Lunchbox, and I start with a beautiful strawberry from Driscoll's of Watsonville, California, that I bought at Publix just yesterday. So this is
now you're going to dip that in some
fresh
cream in honor of Wimbledon. No, all right. All right. So Mike Mayo eats a strawberry. That's part of today's Lunchbox. All right.
That is a very sweet and good strawberry.
All right.
And then we've got a cherry that I bought from Publix last week.
All right, be careful of the pit. I don't want you losing a tooth here.
This was
You're going to look like Steve Stamkos after this segment.
It was a Rainier cherry from Washington State.
Those are the best.
Sometimes they have the pink, light ones that come later in the summer. This is a deep cherry red.
I used to be able to eat pounds of cherries at a time.
I can pound those.
It does get to your stomach later on, but not in terms of size, but in terms of not feeling so great.
There's the pit.
Right.
Like
you're going to throw the pin at the screen. Is that what you're going to do? All right, very good.
I don't
throw it at the wall.
All right, I don't know what are you building up to here, because so far the level of excitement is 0.0. I can eat a couple of pieces of fruit and describe
the cherry was excellent. I mean, you can't.
Where did you get this idea from? It's
just a
it's a tragedy as a broadcasting experience
Here comes the iffy part. We have this is a cantaloupe that I cut up, and it was like in the fridge
last year. Yeah,
it was in the fridge for like maybe a week to 10 days before I cut it up.
Did it have any mold on the outside? Did it have mold on the outside?
And it wasn't squishy. It wasn't so. But now it's been sitting cut up in the fridge for I'd say about 2 weeks. So this.
Okay, no, I would throw that out.
And
I would immediately dump that.
Gotta try it.
I smell it. It smells.
All right, Mayo goes to the fork and such ugliness.
Oh, it's
he
bad?
makes a face as if he had just landed at the Acme Oyster Bar, which he felt
like a lucky dog.
compelled to condemn, so he wouldn't look like a tourist fool. And
the cantaloupe was no good. We got to toss that. Okay, so we've learned.
I would toss the whole thing, man, and just concentrate on the chicken parm coming up later on, and maybe get a review tomorrow.
That was Mike Mayo's wide world of fruit. We do anything to kill time here on the Lunchbox.
What about the hot dogs? You're not giving us an answer here. I mean,
he said 7 or 6.
I gave the answer. The answer is 7. I wouldn't even want to go for the hook because the hook could prove fatal. I mean, it's. I just think that it's. Why put my health at That sounds funny.
Might put your health at risk. You do it every day.
I was
when you
going to say,
wake up.
isn't that your
What are you
livelihood?
talking
Yeah, but
about? You're a
I do it in
degenerate
a-
gambler eating like you're going to the chair. Unbelievable.
Oh, speaking of which, did you
Yeah.
get the picture I sent you last night? Because I was playing a little cards down at Mardi Gras.
Oh, I saw that. Yeah. What was that chili?
Chili,
concoction
like
you had?
their food service there, and this is a topic, I guess, is like, do any of the casinos or card rooms have good food anymore? And the answer at the Big Easies, which they call the former Hollywood
Yeah.
Greyhound track, and now it used to be known as Mardi Gras. It has a New Orleans theme, but they have a little poker room menu, and they have some good things. And the chili I got, it was served in a way that had a nice little crock pot. It was a little served with a corn muffin on the side.
What'd that
And,
run you?
it was like only $6. It was like
$6,
$5.95.
not bad.
Yeah,
All right.
That's
no,
not bad.
and it was very nicely plated, and the flavor was good. You would like that chili. It was better than Skyline chili because it's more.
I'm a big
traditional.
fan of chili in general. I mean, Skyline, I wouldn't go out of my way to have again. Because I didn't. Well, even you said it doesn't qualify as chili. There are many places, and I don't know that it comes up as frequently. There used to be a couple of threads there on your Let's Eat South Florida page about where to get the best chili, but and it's very subjective. But I found a couple of good places for it. I'm sure you have too.
Yeah, and but before we get into that, I don't
I'm going to give
know-
you Billy Jack Shack, the best I've
Yeah,
had
no,
here
Billy
in
Jack
town.
Shack.
Billy Jack Shack.
Excellent.
Great chili.
Excellent place there up in Lauderdale by the sea, and they do have a whole wide assortment of comfort food, and their chili is, as you say, very,
Very good. Very good.
Now, one place that does not have chili, but they have a whole host of great, very good, comforting things, including French onion soup and shrimp cocktail and crab cakes and stuffed mushrooms, is our friends at Tropical Acres. And I was there earlier this week, and it is a place that me, you, and Lubie must get to very soon, so I could
Yes.
repay the debt. And it's a South Florida institution. The Studi Alley family have been running it a long time. The place has been around over 70 years, older than you. And speaking of older than you, you're going to be celebrating a birthday next week.
Tuesday.
I know you're going to be gone, but maybe I'll have to combine the celebration of the birthday with the repayment of the debt. We'll all go into Tropical Acres. It's at 2500 Griffin Road in Dania, just west of I-95 in the airport. They've got the Twin Lobster specials going now, Monday through Friday, $35. You can't beat that deal. 2 whole steamed live Maine lobsters with a side and a salad for $35. It's the greatest, along with there are other great values like the early bird special from 4:30 to 5:30, the happy hour in the bar for the first 2 hours, 4:30 to 6:30, and half price wine night on Monday and Tuesday. Go to Tropical Acres this week with 4th of July coming up. You're going to want to check out the butcher shop so you could buy all those great steaks and throw them on the grill at home. The butcher shop is open every day but Sunday from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. So go into Tropical Acres and tell them that the Lunchbox sent you.
You know what's great, too, about Tropical Acres? We were talking about the high-end service that you got at our nose in New Orleans, and it's kind of nice to see service in a restaurant done in a classical fashion. I don't know that it's overwhelmingly annoying, but, when you ask a question of one of the servers and they have no idea what you're talking about, like, does this come with so-and-so or such and such, I have to check. Really nice, the service. Everybody's on top of their game there at Tropical Acres. I mean, really, really well-run restaurant all the way around. All right, back with more of Mike Mayo's Lunchbox. He's scarfing for those that don't have the video. Still eating as he's going out to eat. Still eating.
I don't want to hear you ever complain about me. I've never done any of the stuff this guy does. And I love him, but I've never done any of this.
No,
Never.
I mean, even when you used to wear your food on your,
Exactly.
all of your clothes and your face. that time you bit into the crab sandwich that he had on the Fisherman's Wharf
But it was
when we were out
big.
covering the Super Bowl in San Francisco, he literally had crab meat on his forehead. I mean,
It wasn't on purpose.
you had to see this to believe it. Far outweighing any disgusting, thing that you've done here on the show so far, including eating your frozen Skyline chili. All right, back in a moment on WWNN.
When people come to me and say, Mike, where's a great place for dinner? I got friends visiting from out of town. Where am I going to take them? Cafe Seville. That's the answer. 2768 East Oakland Park Boulevard. It is a Fort Lauderdale perennial. They serve the finest in Spanish and continental cuisine in a cozy, friendly setting. Service there is impeccable. Joey Esposito and his better half, Sally, they've been running the place for more than 2 decades. It's been there since the 1980s. It has some great food. They just recently expanded. They have a great bar. You could sit there if you're by yourself. You go in there with a date or your better half, and you can have a nice, cozy table for 2. You can go in with a big group and have a great festive time. They have great sangria. They have paella. They have shrimp with garlic sauce. The stuffed veal chop, oh, that's my favorite. It's open Monday through Saturday at 5 p.m. for dinner. They are closed on Sundays, but please go to Cafe Seville. You won't be disappointed. Tell them Mayo and Defo sent you. Do you like wings? Do you like burgers? Do you like ribs? Do you like late night food? All this and more at Shenanigans. There's 2 locations. East side is at 1300 South Federal Highway in Dania Beach. And then there's the original in Hollywood, right across from TY Park on Sheridan Street. Pat Utter and his crew, they've been doing it a long time, almost 30 years, and they do a great job. It's a neighborhood place with a casual feel, really good food, good value. They have drink specials every day, beer, coldest on draft. Anytime that you want, the late night food, the kitchen is going until past midnight, both locations. They have outdoor dining if you need it too. Shenanigans is my place to go. You could also call up for a pickup right through a drive-through window on the east side. That's at 954-923-3008, 954-923-3008 for your takeout pickup. Go to Shenanigans and tell them Mayo and Defo sent you.
What next is the question? Rich gentlemen have his voice in digestion. We're breakfast and try it. 3 pancakes a day. Our favorite diet.
And we're back on the Lunchbox on a Wednesday, middle of the week. And it's good to be here with Defo and Lubie. And
Thank you, sir.
we
Okay,
did
but here's the
wine
deal.
food
Okay,
tasting.
but I know we're on a clock and we're going 12 more tangents. I want this to happen. You're doing eating every day. So Friday, we're gonna pay homage to 4th of July here on the Lunchbox, obviously.
Okay.
How do we get you to do your own hot dog challenge without getting sick? Because you'll have to come back after and do more of the show. Like you have to do some kind of a hot dog challenge. What can
Wait.
you
Am I doing
do?
the eating of the hot dogs on the
Yes.
morning show? Or
You can do
at
it here. We have an
8:30?
hour here. So like,
Either way, yeah. Either way you want to do it.
Let's do it Friday daytime at lunchtime.
Yeah, I'd
And
rather
I will
here.
grill up.
hot
I will
dogs.
grill up a mess of hot dogs, and we'll see how many I could eat. I actually just bought a big pack at the where was it? Oh, my wholesale club, but it's the Hebrew National hot dogs, I think. So
All right.
solid.
Well,
do those
whatever brand
count?
you want. You can eat whatever
Okay.
you want. I
They're
mean, no
kosher,
conditions
so
there.
it's good. Hey,
Yeah.
Lubie, on the video, I don't know. I'm seeing not us, so I don't know if that's me. But anyway, we're good, and we're getting ready to. There we are. We're good. We're back on the Lunchbox, and the one food topic of the day that I wanted to get to. I don't know if you saw that I put it up on the Let's Eat South Florida Facebook group, run in conjunction with the fine folks at the Sun Sentinel. That 82,000 strong now, which is crazy. But
Nice. Mazel tov, look at
I
you.
tagged you in this Defo because this is a debate I think me and you have
Oh,
all
I
the
saw
time
that. Yes, I did.
about when you go to a restaurant, which camp are you in? Do you think that there's such a thing as ordering wrong, and that when you go to a restaurant, you should like kind of stick with what the restaurant is known for, what it does best, their
Mhm.
signature dishes? Or are you one of those people who say, Well, everything on the menu that's offered should be good. So I'm going to order anything I want depending on what I feel like that day. And if it's no good, then that's shame on the restaurant. They shouldn't offer it if they don't do it well. Which one are you, Jeff Defo DeForest?
A little bit of both, I would have to say. I believe that if it's on the menu, it should be good, especially if you're in a restaurant. I think this came up on a show a couple of times, but I know it did once when I went to Thesos, the Greek restaurant, where I ordered a steak, and you went nuts. Yeah, you went berserk.
That was ordering wrong.
Yeah, and I kind of sensed that at the time, like you're in a Greek restaurant, order something that
Lamb
Greeks
chops.
are known for. All right, but I'm thinking, well, maybe Greeks do a steak a certain way, and it comes out tastier than it would be, if you went to a steakhouse or a different type of thing. So I thought, okay, let me try that, and it turned out to be a mistake. But and they have other things that they do very well. But I do believe that if it's on the menu, you shouldn't be like radically and dramatically disappointed that it was such a departure from the rest of the food, the way they make it, and your usual satisfaction with the stuff that they're known for. It shouldn't be so far off that you come away just thinking, my God, this was a mistake. I could have gone anywhere and had something better than this, and not paid $60 for it.
Lubie, in 20 seconds or less, what's your philosophy?
Well, here's the thing: is I try to get with what they're good at. There's nothing wrong with going off the board, but that's the only thing I disagree is if you're going off the board, then I would lower expectations because you're at a Greek place to get chicken parm. It may be good there, but that's not their thing. So I would lower expectations and not be frustrated if it's not what I wanted it to be.
I always say play to their strengths, like you don't want Shaquille O'Neal on the foul line. You want him being, pounding the boards there. So, hey, and speaking of places that have both chicken parm and great Greek food, we're talking about Costa's Greek Eatery and Pizzeria. Our friends there, we're going to be there in a couple of weeks doing our show on a Tuesday. But they're at 1940 Northeast 49th Street in Pompano Beach, just west of Federal Highway and north of Sample Road. Go to Costa's Greek Eatery Pizzeria.com to check out their full menu offerings, along with you could order for takeout or delivery through their website. Costa's treats everybody like family, and it's one of those places where, look, you can't go wrong because they have great New York style pizza and some of the other dishes that you'll find at pizzerias. But if you really want to get the good stuff, you go for the Greek specialties like the gyros, the souvlaki, the spanakopita, the spinach pies, the pastitsio, which is the Greek lasagna. Get anything and everything there because it's all delicious. It's all made with passion and care. They've been doing it a long time. They're open daily. Bring the family and your appetite. Oh, and don't forget, Alicia has the best desserts. She makes everything in-house every day. The baklava and some of the other things, those cookies they have the best. I think it's like a sugar almond cookie. You want to check that out. Costa's Greek Eatery and Pizzeria. Tell them the Lunchbox sent you.
There's a solid chance I'll be there tonight, Mike Mayo, after the tennis match.
Good for you.
We've been going to Galuppi's, which is okay, but I told Jesse the beers are ice cold at Costa's, and everybody fell in love with the pizza. In fact, it went so quickly. The pizza that we bought to the party that we had at my son's house a couple of weeks ago, that he didn't even get a slice. So he's anxious to try it also. So I may go out of my way tonight. It's a little off my path, but it's on his way home.
Excellent.
To Costa's tonight. It's that good, and it's always calling my name. All right, coming back with more. Wrap things up on this edition of Mike Mayo's Lunchbox in a moment.
Do you like really good seafood, but maybe not in a fancy place? Even Keel Fish Shack. That's the place for you. I know it's the place for me, too. It's at the corner of A1A and Commercial Boulevard in Lauderdale by the Sea. It is a place for elevated food in a casual beachfront setting. They have good drinks. They got a great vibe. The chef owners, Brad and Dave, they come from a fine dining background. They had the original Even Keel Fish in Fort Lauderdale, but they moved over to this place in the last year. It is perfect. They're open every day for lunch and dinner. They also have brunch Friday through Sunday at noon. They have drink specials every day. They have happy hour 4 to 7 Monday through Friday. Some of the greatest deals around. You get the grilled oysters, 4 of them for $5. You can't beat that. All their food, the grilled octopus, the bang bang shrimp, lobster rolls. They have fish specials. They also have burgers and hot chicken sandwiches for the landlubbers out there. Go to Even Keel Fish Shack. Tell them Mayo and Defo sent you.
If you're looking for an honest place with great food and tremendous value, Costas Greek Eatery and Pizzeria is the place for you. It's in Pompano Beach at 1940 Northeast 49th Street. It's just west of Federal Highway, just north of Sample Road, and it has not become my spot for Greek specialties like gyros, souvlaki, spinach pies, and pastitsio, that's the Greek lasagna, and also thin, crisp New York-style Greek pizza. You got to go try some of their specialty pies like the gorgonzola and spinach. Oh, it's worth a special trip. Costa is a great guy. He has Queens, New York roots, but he's been in business in Broward for a long time. He's a great guy. He'll throw a plate, say Opa, and greet and treat you like long-lost relative. Costa's is open every day for lunch and dinner. They're on all the major delivery apps. You can also dine in or take out. Go to Costa's Greek Eatery and Pizza, where everyone is family. Hey, it's Mike Mayo for my friends at Visit Lauderdale. This summer, we're back on the Lunchbox, wrapping up a Wednesday edition. And let's see, we've got, I mentioned Tropical Acres and the holiday weekend coming up. Looks like they're sticking with their normal schedule. Means they're going to be closed on Sunday, but open on Monday the 4th.
Wow.
So you could go in there and get your twin lobsters before shooting off some fireworks or watching some fireworks. So that's a good thing. And
Great thing, go to the butcher shop there for all of your barbecue needs. People are going to be doing a lot of grilling over the weekend. That would be a great spot to get some terrific steaks and all of the things that you need to satisfy your party guests.
Yes, and one other note, again, condolences to our friend Joey Esposito.
Yeah.
Tony Saragosa's funeral being held today up in New Jersey, and Joey is up there. I think he went up yesterday for the viewing and the wake, and then the funeral service is going on right now. So hoping that that all goes smoothly, but obviously a very big tragedy. Tony Saragosa died a week ago at age 55, far too young for a guy
Wow.
who was involved heavily with not just obviously the football and sports scenes, but also the food scene. He was, I think, a partner with Joey at the Cafe Seville and was in there all the time. So again, condolences to Joey and all of Tony Saragosa's friends and family. The last note, talking about well, you were talking about hot dogs and stuffing our face and health and taking walks of life. I had a conversation yesterday. I caught up with a long lost Brooklyn buddy who I grew up with, Bill Sherman, and his father his parents are both still alive, and his father is 96 now.
Wow.
And
Wow.
Bill was remarking. I said, "So what's his key to longevity?" He goes, "It's incredible." He says the guy chugs 2 liters of soda every day. He consumes like a bag of chips, copious amounts of salt. He just takes no, follows none of the guidelines or recommendations when it comes to diet or health. And the guy is, indestructible. He's kind of like Mama Mayo here. And so, and he goes to the doctor, and the doctor says, "Do whatever you want."
You're a medical marvel. Yeah, exactly.
Exactly.
I'm not going to tell you to stop eating whatever you're doing. So just goes to show you, Defo, it's all about the genes and maybe a little bit of luck. We'll see what happens. But
Burt Sugar, man. I'd rather be a good liver than have a good liver. Probably one of the classic lines of all time. I mean, right
Well-
up there with "Call Me Ishmael" as the opening of a book.
what is the opening line of Confederacy of Dunces? I guess that'll be the question
for
for our
that.
book report.
We all have to read this, though. It sounded fascinating. It really did, because I love character studies, and this sounds like it's really a classic and a colossal combination of character studies, all related around people that were selling Lucky Dogs on the streets of New Orleans.
Again, I will have to pick up the book and try to get through it. I haven't read a full book. I can't even tell you when. I guess in the pandemic, I read a few books. But how about you, Defo? Have you
Slugger in Right Field by Roger Maris was the last book I read cover to cover. That was when I was about 9 years old. I loved Roger. I couldn't believe he wrote a book, which I don't think he had much to do with, but nonetheless, it was a heck of a story.
There you go. Well, you would rather make a book than read books, so
Yes.
understand that
Take
completely.
book if it was a media I was booking.
That's it. All right, that's going to do it for today on the Lunchbox. We'll see you tomorrow somewhere with Nikki Mohan and Visit Lauderdale.
Nice.
Thanks for tuning in today. And again, you can check us out every day on WWNN on the radio dial, 1470, 95.9, 96.3. I'm sorry, 96.9, 95.3, and on the streaming South Florida Live, Facebook and YouTube, for Mike Mayo. I am Mike Mayo. For whoever else is out there, I'm just going to say eat some
Good luck.
fruit and enjoy every sandwich.
Thanks, Ryan.